Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Intimate Conversations with Isa Favored. Whew. Yeah, we are so settled in 2024. We really are settled, and we've laughed, we've exercised. Now, me, because I love, there's certain things that we all have things that we love in life. One of the things that I love in life is traveling, guys. Yoo-hoo. I'm like, don't take away traveling from me, because if you take away traveling from me, you're gonna make me so miserable, you're gonna make me grumpy, I'm gonna be a grumpy person, you won't even like me. So let's talk a little bit about traveling. And I know that a lot of people sometimes think that your traveling is expensive, traveling is, you need to have lots of money for you to be able to travel. Sometimes it depends on the kind of holiday that you are opting for. So I thought, I didn't actually think. I'm going through Facebook and I come across this post. Hey, hi guys, I thought I'm bold. I thought I am adventurous, and I realized that no, I am not any of the two. I am a grade 1. There are people who are, I'll call them at a grade 12, if not yet a master's level and whatever, you know what to think about. But yeah, so this lady has posted this beautiful, the way she narrated her story, I read and I read and I read, and I'm like, I have to make contact with her. So I made contact with her, and today I have her here. You're probably wondering, Ustutuziwe, Ustutuzile, going by Stu Klachwa. She is born at Gwando. She was born in Gwandongoma, the northern part of KZN, but now she resides in Pretoria. And when I asked her for her bio, she's like, I love spending quality time with family, which includes, amongst other things, taking road trips. And my family road trips, she was the self-appointed family DJ. She says then somehow they requested her to step down. I don't know what music she was playing for the family to say step down. I really wonder. But no, it's right. She loves reading. So whenever she travels, she reads. She says you'll find her face buried in a book. She does traveling of South Africa and, of course, out of the country. I was just so inspired talking to her. And she says, my dream is to travel every nook and cranny of my beloved continent. She has started doing the continent of Africa. She has inspired something in me. I spoke to her and I was like, I am challenged. She's like, that is what I want. I want people to be inspired so that they take the baton and we become, because as much as we can travel other European countries and all these other countries, Africa is beautiful. We are Africans and we must enjoy and explore Africa. And then she says, I'll always say I've got 99 problems, but to choose the next destination, it is not one of them, because she finds that very easy. So today, yes, we're talking traveling, we're talking, just to share. She's gonna share her own travels, the travel experiences, but over and above that, just to encourage somebody who's sitting there. Some people may want to travel, but they also find it hard. Stu, welcome, and thank you for agreeing again to be my guest, my darling. You are welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the lovely intro.
It's you. That intro is so you. You have this energy. You have. I'm not gonna tell them what when you told me that you've got anxiety issues about when you write. You think I'm not, but you are such a. It's such a pleasure conversing with you. So you're a traveler. You love traveling.
I love traveling. I love. There's a quote. I'm just gonna quote it in parts. It says, "I've never returned from a travel destination feeling relaxed and ready to go back to work. I always come back with the feeling that I hate my job and I just want to be on the road."
Oh, tell me about it. We all you wanna go back and you wanna go back and you wanna go back. Then you reminded that I need in the sun. Then you reminded that I have to love my job for me to be able to enjoy these things. What triggered? At what point did you actually realize that you love traveling? What triggered your love for traveling?
So, as you have said, I was born Kwanangoma. That's where I went to school. That's where I did everything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling, you'd only travel for a purpose. So, you're going to your uncle's place because
Yes.
there's a funeral. You only go to, you'd hardly ever find families, at least where I grew up, families
Mm-hmm.
who would just pack up and just go to Durban. For what? That was not what we were exposed to as Black people.
Uh-huh.
Um, Socialization, our socialization didn't encourage that, and also the fact that we didn't have money. Our parents had to, whatever little they had to make a living out of that for us.
Yes, yes.
So, but I know that I've just always known that I was gonna be on the road. So there was
Okay.
no like sort of like pre-inspiration. I'd be like in high school doing geography and I'm thinking, oh, this country, I'm gonna go there one day. Right.
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
grew up, started working. Fortunately, my job allows for me to travel a lot within the country.
Okay.
So, God works
Hmm.
like that. So
Yes.
I've been in all 9 provinces, but I can tell you this, it feels different when you travel for work
Than
because you are there
personal.
and you're laser focused on something, yes, than when you're traveling just personally. So I then decided, let me introduce my family to like traveling as well. We'll go
Mm-hmm.
to different destinations. I remember the first destination we went to as a family was Drankensberg in
Oh,
KZN.
beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, those mountains. Ha!
It is, it is. And then later on in life, a few years back,
Mm-hmm.
probably must have been around 2020, or I can't remember. I read about this 80-year-old, mind you, who took her Toyota Conquest. She had just lost a partner, if I remember. I'm sorry if I'm missing some important details of the story, but I think she had
Yes.
just lost her partner,
Uh-huh.
and she thought, you know what? Let me just do something to lift my spirit up. Got into her
Mm-hmm.
Toyota test, and she traveled from Cape Town to Cairo. I believe she crossed over to Europe as well.
Okay.
And I thought, whoa, wait, if so, this is doable, right? If an 80-year-old
Mm.
can do this, driving herself in a Toyota Test, why can't I? And
Yeah.
why should I wait until I'm 80 and retire?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see how I can do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, and so the bug kicked in. I've
Uh-huh.
always loved traveling in Africa, but the problem with our continent is it is not marketed in an appealing way, right?
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
So you look at Dubai. So my first international trip was, of course, Thailand, like everybody else.
Now,
And then we did a few days in the UAE, which is gorgeous, which is beautiful.
uh-huh.
But my love, and I've traveled a few times out of the continent. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to experience snow, and I know that you can't find snow in anywhere in Africa, so I needed to go to the other parts for that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
really, in my heart, Africa is where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what inspired me to travel.
Okay, okay.
And maybe what just to add on that, maybe before you move on to your next question, why do I feel so comfortable traveling solo?
Yes, that's what I actually wanted. I wanted to ask that, your comfort, but other than that, to say, um, your first, you said you traveled with the family. At what point did you start solo traveling, and what inspired you to get into solo? Other than that lady, other than the 80-year-old lady, because somebody else would have read that story and thought, let me get my girls, let me get somebody to travel with you. What is it that made you, and of course the comfort that you were going to talk about.
All right, so it's a two-pronged question, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a two-pronged answer to your question.
Okay.
it is usually very difficult to find like-minded people to travel
Yes.
with.
Yeah.
I've been in instances where WhatsApp group has been developed, we're all going, and then we never go, right? And
You know what they say, that then the WhatsApp group remains and everyone leaves the group and no one makes it out of the WhatsApp group to actually to the destination that was planned.
you see, so
Yes.
I've fallen victim to that, but I understand we have
Uh-huh.
different needs at different times. So by the time I have a need to travel, somebody else maybe has a need to buy property, whatever, you know. So it
Mm-hmm.
just seemed that um, our plans just could not align.
Yeah.
But also, I had never discussed this plan in particular with anyone else because I knew that I wanted to do this solo. But also, I need to credit some of the ladies. We once took an incredible trip to Mozambique via Eswatini. And so we'd brag and say, we woke up in SA, had lunch Eswatini, and had dinner
And
in
ended up
Mozambique.
in Moz.
It was one of the most incredible trips,
Yes.
in
Uh-huh.
its own right. What makes me comfortable is, and I give credit to my mother.
Okay.
My mother raised us in a manner that it was sort of unorthodox in a way, in that as soon as you could count money and figure out change. So Wanangoma is a very small town, right?
Okay. Okay.
Um, Mostly it was quite smaller in the 90s when I grew up. So you'd be sent to nearby towns. So it would be like 4 hours by bus from Kwanongoma to Mtuba or Opongolo to pay for like furniture installment, clothing
Oh,
installment. Back when we used to
yes.
have Smart Center and BG or
No
GB. Yeah,
carpets, no bani
like all
bani.
carpet. So you'd have to. So my mom, as soon as you can figure out change,
Uh-huh.
then you are sent out on your own to do those things.
Okay.
My grandmother my grandmother, who is her mother-in-law, would say, yisho uma ngabe uyayinyanya lezi ngane ufuna ukuyilahla.
Ngoba nje ufuna nje ukuba untshontshe iy'ngane zami.
And my grandmother would say, izwe lilibi kangaka. Like, I
Mhm.
wonder what she would say now. Izwe libi
When
now.
you, with all your
So, so now that made me comfortable um,
yes.
to just go, because I can't remember the first time I went to Mtuba by myself or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Empangeni to pay. So
Mm.
then I became confident and
Yes.
fearless in a
Yes.
way. So yeah, that's what makes me comfortable doing this by myself.
And
And
big ups to your mom, because I'm listening to you now, to say in Yena, she didn't even know the seed that she was planting in you guys by sending you, because then it gave you this confidence that I can go anywhere by myself without having to fear. And of course, Ashilo Ukoko, we live in a very dangerous world, but she instilled that, and look at you today. You have nothing that limits you in terms of thinking, woo, what if you deal with the fears, you face them head on, and you do what you have to do. Now, you did, how many countries did you do? That's last December. That's the post that had me so much in love, falling in love with you, and challenged and made to like, you, I have to know this woman. How many countries did you do?
so it was Zim, Zambia, um, Tanzania, and Kenya. So 4 countries.
4 countries in about, just about 20 days or so. Just about, yeah, when we counted, it's about when you when you conceived the idea in your mind, when did you, after reading the book, because you said that book you read was about 2020, did you start planning for this then? At what point did you say, I'm doing this, and I am, so you're doing now because you've got to do your research as to this is how my route was going? Just take us through that train of thoughts.
All right. So So I had a bit of money saved in my entertainment coffers.
Okay. Okay. Can I pause you there? Can we talk about entertainment coffers? So on your monthly budget and your whatever, you put aside what you call entertainment coffers.
Um, eh, Not quite, but
Okay.
some people may do it that way. So when I got my bonus, I put it aside,
Okay.
right? I thought,
Okay.
okay, this is, I want to travel or whatever, whatever. But I was, not to say I was uncertain, I'm a very spontaneous person, right?
Okay.
So for me, a long plan, long, tedious plan, um, doesn't work well with me because by the time execution comes, I'm like so over this thing because then I've done it so many times in my mind, right?
I'm, I'm listening and I'm laughing because you're like, oh, long, tedious. And I'm thinking, I'm such a long term planner. Oh, like, and for you, it's a different story altogether. And it's fine. We're different like that. That's what makes life beautiful. That's what makes life beautiful.
Okay.
You
Then
know,
let's talk. Uh-huh.
couldn't agree with you more on that.
Yes.
So then all I knew was that Christmas I want to be home with my family and then I'll decide. So fortunately, I had saved up my, not even to say I had saved up my leave days. It was such a busy year at work last year that I could not take leave
Mm.
necessarily. So I still
Okay.
had a lot of leave days from last
Uh-huh.
year that I could use.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
so things
Uh-huh.
just worked out for me in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So Christmas comes and goes, like, okay, 27th, I'm tired, but I'm like, but you want to go. When are you going to go? So on the 28th, I wake up. I live in Pretoria, as you said, went to Bosman. No, on the 27th, went to Bosman, made an inquiry. They said, oh, the bus leaves at 2, whatever, whatever. Do you have a bus that goes straight to Vic Falls? No, not tomorrow, whatever. So I bought my ticket a day before our travel. After having had my ticket,
You.
only then do I come back to now figure out what am I taking with, what am I packing, what am I, I'm also a very horrible packer for a person who travels a lot with work. I'd be there and I'm so cold. I'm like, why didn't I pack warm clothes? So yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So you see me being sort of disorganized and spontaneous.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, who goes and pay and buys a ticket when they are not like nothing has been thought through? Ooh, no wonder you travel solo. No wonder you do it solo. It makes sense. I'll kill you. I can never travel with you.
I'll try and accommodate you. I'll try. I've done a fairly decent job in accommodating people. So so I came back now. So I'm packing. I'm like, yeah, is this practical? Whatever, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
then the following day, which is the 28th, then I took a bus around 2. Now, I haven't spoken to you about accommodation, right?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
We still
So
on because surely if you decide now, let me go to Bosman to inquire. It means you have not done any whatever platforms
anything.
that deals with accommodation.
The,
You
the
have not
only
done
thing
that.
I had checked, the only thing I had checked prior
Mm-hmm.
was if there's any like visa requirements or whatever, right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And maybe just to paint a picture. So when I left here, my
Mm-hmm.
idea was Zimbabwe. I was gonna stay over in Bulawayo and then travel
Mm-hmm.
maybe the following day. That was the original plan, and then Vic Falls, Zambia, weave my way through to Zanzibar because I had been to Zanzibar a few years before, and
Uh-huh.
I loved it there, and I tasted some of the best food in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared to try out food, but Zanzibar just gave me the best. So the idea was to go back to Zanzibar.
Okay.
So hold on to that thought. So now I booked my accommodation in a bus headed to Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So so while in the bus, I'm like, there's nothing to do really in Bulawayo. I'm not staying over. So I asked a gentleman that I was sitting next to, are the buses from Bulawayo to Vic Falls. The locals call it follows.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, found that fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "Yeah, no, sure." So we got off at the station wherever. I took a taxi, and then I went to the bus. So I got off of one bus that traveled overnight straight to another bus, and I thought it was going to be a short trip.
Yes.
It was not short at
It
all.
is not short.
The
Bulawayo
distance
to
is
Vic
short.
Falls, but it's a long drive.
Yeah. So, but I'm there just embracing everything that I'm seeing. Some of the sceneries remind me of the time when my family would take a bus from ekhaya kwanongoma to empangeni, abo mama rushing to sell us fruits ngama window. So it was fun.
Uh-huh.
It was nostalgic in its way. And there were things that I looked at and I'm like, whoa, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
But it's all part of traveling, right? That's what we want to
Yeah.
do, want to experiment. So
Mm-hmm.
eventually we got to to the falls, and then I headed over to where I would sleep. I was quite tired, so I did nothing. I slept. Then I booked for my excursions the following day.
Mm-hmm.
Not so many
Mm-hmm.
of them because, Zim,
And we are on USD, eh? We are on USD that time.
ew.
So the exchange.
So yeah, no, the falls are not child's play. So,
Yes.
but I did do the one thing that I always wanted to do, which is the devil's pool.
Oh, okay. And because I read up on that, I look at that, and I'm like, I can't swim. If the current is heavy, then I might just drown. And I know that I cannot stop death, but I don't want to go and kill myself for fun. Like, really, I went out for fun just to go and die. Where, like, can you swim? Answer that. The boldness to do that, is it because you can swim?
I cannot swim for nothing. If you don't
And
want
yet,
me to if you don't want me to take 1,000,000 rands, just say swim across and grab that. I cannot swim for nothing.
And yet you still found it in you to do the devil's pool.
Listen, I was already in Vic. I was gonna do it. If it would have meant that Bangkok and take me there, it was gonna happen. But
it was going to
fortunately,
happen.
because because it happens when the tide is quite low. Is it the tide? If it's but yeah, let's call it that. When it's
Yes,
quite low,
yes.
because they have their there's some periods of the year when the water is so high that they close for the devil's pool.
Okay, yes, because I'm thinking I was actually last year in June. I was at the Vic Falls, and oh, no. The volume of the water, it was scary. So it will scare you just standing there and looking at it. The falls were beautiful, of course, because of that. So I'm thinking, who does that when they can't swim? Big ups to you. Big ups to you.
So there's a way, but they accommodate for us who can't swim. So like there's like sort of like two routes. So strong swimmers, they have their own route, and the other swimmers. And also, whenever I'm about to do something crazy, I always say to myself,
Mm-hmm.
thousands of people have done this and they've never died. Why would I be the first one to die?
To
And then
die.
once I remind myself of that, we're good to go.
You're ready to go.
We're good to go. So
Uh-huh.
Shem, they do make provision for us non-swimmers, and then they guide you all the way. You just follow instructions. Don't try and be clever. Just
Yes.
know your limits as a person. I
Yeah, yeah,
know
yeah.
that my limits are that I can't swim. So whatever instruction I was given, I executed.
So you then did the Devil's Pool, and Vic Falls was done. What was your next stop? You've dealt with your fears, you've dealt with your everything. Maybe one day I'll do it, I'll take inspiration from you, and I'll find myself doing that. I don't know, I'll try. what was your next? What was your next stop? And by the way, most of your travel in these four countries, you did them by land, and you only flew coming back, right? Okay. So what was your next destination?
So the next destination then was Zambia, Livingston.
Okay.
It was my first ever experience with dorm stays. And I want to share my experience with staying in a dorm because I
Okay.
know that for most people, and because like I keep saying, for us black people, we're not as exposed to traveling as other people are. And so we don't know that there's so many options that can help with your budget as well so that you don't
Yes.
break your.
Uh-huh.
So it was my first option with dorms. And I must say, when you think about it, and remember I told you this, that when you think about dorm, you think, there's no privacy, whatever. Whatever. But the question is, what do you want to do with your privacy, right? You
Mm-hmm.
go to a hotel, you sleep, you wake up, you do excursions. If not,
Yes.
you're by the pool the entire
Ah.
time. So
Uh-huh.
I stayed in a dorm. At no point did I ever feel like, now I want my space. Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it's not like you have like these traditional rituals that you want to do that require for you. You just want a decent place to lay your head. And also there's other options that are available. I know there's a group that is called Host a Sister. What they do is you just
Mm-hmm.
say, Stu, I'm going to be in Pumalanga, Hazy View. I'm looking for a sister who can host me for
Okay.
so many days. And people do
Okay.
that. And maybe in exchange, you will buy groceries, you would, whatever small thing that you can do as a
That you
token of
can
gratitude,
do.
you
Okay.
see. So
Okay.
there are those options that are unknown to us as well, you know.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
you find that people are so eager to host because they also want to know about where you've been
Where you,
and your country
yeah.
from your perspective, right?
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say that I thought of that so that we don't think of traveling as I need to have mad amounts of money.
To be able to stay at a hotel, because I'm also thinking that somebody may be sitting now and thinking, you should travel during peak season, because between Christmas and up until schools reopen, the the hotel costs are expensive. So, but you find ways to make it to make it reasonable so that you can do what you want to do.
Oh, can I take you back? Something that I found to be a shocker, right?
Uh-huh.
So, so when I get to go get a bus to Zim, they say
Uh-huh.
I have one suitcase. They say to me, suitcase is 150. I'm like, 150 for what? Like, no, you pay for a suitcase. So just it's those things that you come back home and you talk about.
So that's
So sorry,
that is what, when you were SA to Zim, or when you got to
SA to
Zim to
Zim.
Vitfolks. Okay.
No, SA to Zim. It only happened once. SA to Zim. Nowhere else did they ever say pay for your suitcase. Just found it to be it's
Mm-hmm.
dodgy,
Maybe.
but I need this.
You need this, so you pay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you stayed in a dorm. Yes. So okay, sorry. So you then got to Zambia, Livingston, and you stayed in a dorm. The dorm setup. What is it? So it's like dorm as in hostel kind of a dorm.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. For those of you who went to boarding schools, a
yes.
little bit of rice, it's that setup. It's
Okay.
single beds, bunk beds. You put your things there nicely, and you just stay there, right? It's nothing fancy. If you're looking for anything, because another thing, think about this: when you travel solo, booking a whole double room just by yourself, it's expensive,
It
right?
is. It is.
It is very expensive.
Uh-huh.
Um, so thank God that there are those provisions that have been made for solo travelers.
Did you know about them? Did you know about them before you left, or you it was as you go along?
I didn't even think that I would be staying in a dorm. So as
Okay.
I'm looking for like place to stay, so I usually use booking.com just to find out what's happening. And
Uh-huh.
then I don't normally book. Most I've seen that there's a place. Then I go there, I'm like, how much is the rate? So I usually make a comparison.
Okay.
So actually, Booking.com did put me on because then they would say these are what is it, top peaks for solo travelers. So I was like,
Oh,
oh, okay, let me try and experience this thing. And then, but I do believe that I proceeded with Booking.com, and so it was great. I loved it there, and I've said it to so many people. The amount of Ubuntu that just embraced me the entire time.
okay.
Zambians win it for me.
They're warm
You
people.
know, very, very warm people. You go to a shop right to buy whatever that you need. They are there, like bright smiles, whatever. Which is, and let's be honest, which is some sort of opposite to us.
Yeah.
You get to being service. It's just a service. You're here to buy, pay, whatever.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
just
yeah.
warm.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
love Zambia so much. From like a guard at the gate to manager of the establishment. I remember I needed to buy a ticket, me, because nothing is bought on time to get to a bus to move on to Lusaka. It was them at the reception that helped me with it. I did
Okay.
nothing. I said I need a bus. And they moved mountains. Peak season. I left Zambia on the 2nd. So I can imagine, I'm in Livingston for Lusaka on the 2nd. So I can imagine it's quite a busy period.
Busy period.
They went above and beyond.
Oh, wow.
They don't have to do that, but they did it.
They
So
did
anyway,
it.
so they left a very, you know, permanent, beautiful memory in my heart
Yeah.
that said to me, maybe I should stop looking at people who come from outside of the country in a you are suspicious kind of way. Let me
Yeah.
just help them and embrace them, you
And
know?
embrace them. So those are
Yes.
some for you, those are your takeaways that you've come
Yes.
with, that have
Yes.
gone there. It changed your perspective in terms of how you will then relate with other people. I want us, because we're working with time, and I want people to get your experience. I want us to get to your train experience. I want us to get to your train experience. So how many days? Okay, so you stayed in Livingston, then you moved to Lusaka.
Livingston, and then I moved to Lusaka. So that
Okay.
is where I would get my train ticket.
So you then moved from Lusaka to get a train. The train, the one that I'm so excited and I want to know about and I want viewers to know about, you bought the ticket when, because everything when you do it is pays as you go, you buy as you go, you don't buy, you did not buy in advance. Now, tell us about the train. So you took the train moves from Lusaka, or you took a bus from Lusaka to the.
No, the train moves from Kapiri Mposhi. So you take a
Okay.
bus from Lusaka to Kapiri.
How long was the
And
bus?
also, maybe 3 hours, not too long.
Okay. Okay.
So, but also, to my credit this time, there's no way of paying for a train. You have to be physically there.
Okay. Okay. We can give you that. We can give you that.
So, so we get there, right? It's
Hmm.
it's sort of like a what is it's there's nothing fun there. It's a very small town, nothing to do. It's just its advantage is that it's central, so it
Hmm.
makes moving of things from the copper belt and wherever quite possible, right?
Okay.
So I was saying nothing, absolutely nothing could have prepared me for what was to be my accommodation in that town.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Adventurous as you are, with all your adventure and all, nothing.
yeah. Laughing actually thinking about it. I hate being a fussy um anything, whether I'm at a restaurant, whatever. I just try and I had to ask to be moved from one room to another
Hmm.
and realizing that yeah, I'm gonna have to spend a night here and ask to be moved to another. But those people are so accommodating, and there was no Wi-Fi for a person who needs Wi-Fi as I go. That was,
Hmm.
I think they were just so like ashamed. I felt the guy being embarrassed when I said, "You don't have Wi-Fi?" at a hotel.
Yeah.
How come?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. He was lovely. He was so
Mm.
lovely.
Mm.
And also because I come from a part of KZN where you don't like. I know I need to preface this because I'm talking to you. You're in Pumalang. I'd never in my life tasted a mango straight from a tree. They did put me on.
Okay. Mhm. Oh, then okay.
No, we buy mango. You don't just go outside and we buy. No, like
Oh,
it tastes so
things we take
different.
for granted, hey?
I know, hey. And so they gave me also like patkos because they realized that I enjoy mango, so they have mango trees, and then they gave me like patkos mango, which was
Oh,
nice. So
wow.
yeah, they're so lovely. Like I'm saying, Zambians to me. So
Yeah.
now to the train, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I grew up was taking a lot of shosholoza, right?
Yes.
When we go
Yes.
see Ugo.
Mm-hmm.
So my mind is there.
It's
I get
Shosholoza
them.
made. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this station, huh? Hmm, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just the station, but not necessarily the train. So,
Yes.
because I went there on Friday and then they said the train is delayed and we can't really sell tickets. So come back tomorrow, which is now a
Okay.
Saturday. So I
Okay.
paid for my ticket like a day that I'd leave. Fortunately, the train did make it on time.
Mm-hmm.
So so I get there, buy my ticket, whatever. I'm told move to the other side for business lounge, first class lounge. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything there is colonial and so dilapidated, but also so fascinating in its own way.
Mm.
Because you
Mm.
had a particular picture, this train was it's popular with like Europeans and whatever. So you had a particular picture, and then you're like, is when they give reviews, is this the charm that they refer to? I also tell you about what I think Westerners describe as African charm. We'll come to that.
Okay.
Um, like okay, fine, okay, it's just and also then the first class lounge was not open, but I snuck into this other guy's office and I waited in his office.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's you here, it's piles of paperwork and yeah. So I'm like, okay, the train is gonna be great, right? So we are called to now get into a train. But in the noise, this is a train that I had seen when I was because our train goes a long way. So like, why is this so cold? Why am I saying rust?
And I'm gonna try and send and give the guys about editor and the production team. I'm gonna try and get pics of the train so that they put them just to show what we're talking about. Yeah, so you must send me the pics so that we can put them here. Just because now you're taking Rust and Ugu first class, by the way.
First class, you see. Oh,
Okay.
also
Yes.
another thing that I found so fascinating, and
Uh-huh.
I could then not make my booking further. So I asked them, so how many days, how many nights? Some people are saying 2 nights at the train station, staff members at the train station. Some people are
Uh-huh.
saying 2 nights. They're like, oh, sharp, 2 nights. Some are like, no, 3 nights. No,
Okay.
two, three. Oh, is it three? Is it two? So I bought a train. I have no idea how many nights am I
When
going to
you're
be in
reaching
this
your
train.
destination.
Hmm. So I sharp. I get into the train.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still quite hopeful, but now I see the picture, but I'm still quite hopeful. I get in the train. Yeah, 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 yeah. The what do you call this? I remember now. The shutters, window
Uh-huh.
shutters.
Yes.
Yeah, you need years and years at the gym just to open your shutter, and also there's a window. So and we were halfway, and it was hot,
Oh,
hot.
yeah.
So okay, fine, like yeah, right, okay, but yeah, yeah, we good.
I'm here. You're here already, you know.
You're here already. What are you gonna do? You just adjust your mindset. You just, you know,
Hmm.
um, until I had to go to the bathroom. I'll send you pictures. I can't put this into words. I don't even know what that thing. And I'm sorry if I'm being offensive or insensitive to your viewers.
Uh-huh.
We grew up calling it toilet lama sulman. So I don't know any other name for it. Isn't this thing like with
Oh,
the like yeah, where you squat?
yes.
Now picture this. You have to squat, the train is moving, the tracks are a bit you need to hold on to something. You need to make sure that your clothing is not getting wet. Yo, yo, not me
Okay.
like irritating the already Swahili speaking staff members um, who are not even trying to move to speak English. And I'm here not knowing,
Mm.
which also got me thinking
Mm-hmm.
in Africa, we need to have a language that's going to unify us. It's
Yes.
one of the things that's going to make things so simple. It's going to make traveling so simple.
So simple.
Yeah. I hope I hope that yeah, we're good now. So it got me thinking of that as I'm experiencing that. But eventually they warmed up and we were fine. Shem, there was this other Baba who took very good care of me. Anyway, so there's that now. And now I'm like, because I had brought water like for traveling. So I was like, I am only gonna drink when necessary. I'm not
You're not gonna
not
drink for
burdening my
free. No.
no, no. Because the more I drink is the more I'm gonna need to go
You're gonna
there.
need to do and
And how many? Because you said there was 2 nights, there was 3 nights. Ultimately, how many nights were you on the train?
It was 3 nights. So we left on Saturday. We got there on Tuesday morning
hmm,
ish, ish. Yeah. But I
you
will say,
survived. You are here. You survived to tell the story.
and I'm telling the story, and I'm loving the story. Actually, I'm loving the story. So, but the food, I love simple food. I
Okay.
love. Don't complicate my food, please.
Mm-hmm.
It was exquisite. I loved it. Here I say, well, you can eat it without anything. Like you need not pair it. It's so nice. It was just
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And they serve it. They said the food is served on the train. So the food is served on the train because you first class plus yeah, you first class. So you're getting.
No, not quite. You buy. You
Oh,
buy
you
where every other
buy.
classes buy. Yeah. You buy
Okay.
where every
Okay.
other classes buy, but it's quite cheap. It's not bad at all.
Okay.
And also
Okay.
another thing that I thought as we were talking money a little bit, you try and stretch your end.
Yeah.
You are not at home where there's
Yes.
abundance of food and grocery where there you need to go buy for your every meal. So I would say um have one meal. So I would have my meals midday-ish.
Okay.
So you'd have like fruits, snacks, whatever, and then I'd have a meal midday
One meal.
and then
Yes.
one meal because I knew that I had to work with, a budget.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought I would say when we were talking about that. So fortunately, because I had already adjusted to that thing, so I ate only once, and I'm there thinking, Heavenly Father, I beg of you, can you please tell my body not to do anything beyond just water? I can't go to that toilet for anything beyond that. And it listened. For 3 years, I did not need to go. For 3 days, I did not need to go. It would have been I
We
don't know.
thank God
But
for
anyway,
answered
so
prayer.
there's no showers as well. No showers. So it was I got off there smelling all sorts of musty. And I wanted nothing more than taking a cold shower.
Yeah.
Oh, fun story. So
Uh-huh.
so fortunately I'm by myself for the 2 nights. And then sorry, leading into the third night, then a lady joins us. I think it was, yeah, she joins us. So windows are open, shutters are open, everywhere it's open. And then she comes and she closes everything. I'm like, it is hot, woman. And you just got in here with hot food in a
Oh,
plastic bag, a transparent plastic bag. Well, let's when you I'd never seen a pap and gravy packed in that. I looked at her like, that is why we travel. We travel for these things, to see these things. But she was lovely. Of course, we could not like communicate because language. But
language, yeah.
I did speak to her and asked to open the windows. She was fine with that. Now, the train. There are parts of the ride that get really bumpy, really, really, really bumpy. So she was sleeping at the time, and then she woke up and she said, "Jesus!"
Yeah, like, hello, Jesus. I don't want to be dying here. What's going on?
At some point, it then happened to me later on because I was sleeping now, and then I woke up and I thought, yeah, I can already see the headline. So anyway, but the views are incredible. The views,
Incredible.
the ever-changing landscape, what you
Yeah.
see and you find different to your home, you know.
Mm.
Um, I and because you have no control, and so you can't, you cannot then freeze these moments in time because um train is moving.
It's
But it was beautiful.
moving.
I've seen a very strange waterfall that pops out of a rock. I can't explain it. The structures of the house, how they plow, is different to
Mm.
how we used to plow, how they
Mm.
handle the hoe. You know, it's all those things that you saw or see and they fascinate you in
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, yeah,
And by then
yeah.
I was like nice and adjusted. But I must say, when I realized that we are moving to a third night and I'm not hearing anything of arriving, I was like, is there a way to get a bus? But when I
Where?
looked at the stations, I'm like, yeah, you'll be stranded. Do foolish things, you get the prize.
Yeah,
Also, another
exactly.
thing that is quite fascinating. So we got off when we got off to do home affairs.
Uh-huh.
So and it happens across the continent, I think, or the parts that I've been.
Uh-huh.
Khona lapho it's yeah, you exchange currency. There's foreign exchange. That's so here
Yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. So it was those fascinating things. Ukuthi, yeah, khona lapho usamile. Yeah, I'm taking this for this much, and because in the next country that you're moving to, they don't take what you have. You have no choice but to.
So to actually leave it here so that you can then uma ufika ngalena you have you, oh my goodness, I think as I'm listening to you, I'm actually thinking one of the things then, if you one has to embark on such an adventure, you need to be flexible. You need not to be rigid and say this is the standard that I'm used to. You must be open to whatever that will come your way, so that you also do not make the people in that place feel like a goddess has now arrived. Now, so that's one of the things that I'm actually, as I'm listening to you, I'm taking that.
So so I get that because I was just so exhausted. And I said this on the post that I don't eat prawns. I got off of that train craving prawns. Don't know why. I when I think about it, I think my mind associates seafood with like opulence and soft. So I think
Oh, so you
I think
have that
that's
that I want. I just want to enjoy.
because
So you,
I had been, remember I had slept in Kaperimposhi and now the train. So I was like, I want the most comfortable of anything that I'm gonna get. That's another thing that I said to you the other day, that try and make these trips. I said to myself, for you to enjoy it, fit in comfortable things so that you can
Mhm.
relax and then enjoy.
And
So
enjoy.
yeah, so I decided as the train is approaching, I'm like, why would I go back to Zanzibar? I've been to Zanzibar, right? So let
Uh-huh.
me
Uh-huh.
explore Dar es Salaam. So I went to Dar es Salaam, seaside, Bona, soft.
Soft life. Now you're doing soft life. After 4 nights or so of putting yourself through that, you deserved some soft life and all that.
And then I went to Mbotya Island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, it is so beautiful. And what I loved the most about it, as you are there, ferries to Zanzibar are going back and forth.
Oh,
So it,
wow.
yeah, it is just beautiful. There are no permanent structures. It's just something that was unique to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Stu, I think in the interest of time, I will just encourage people, even those that are not on Facebook, to go on Facebook and just check your posts and just, to read up. What we needed to do, you did Kenya. I know that in the post you also spoke about how Kenya left, such a warmth within you because of the way they are and all that. The purpose really of today was just to inspire people and say it's possible to travel. You just need to be, we just need to remove this idea that I need white linen, I need buy white linen at home, so that you don't really look for white linen only when you travel, but you can be able I say, if you make sure that you sleep on white linen at home, then you can be able to explore the world, and look out for the things that you are not really used to on a day-to-day basis. What are your, few words that you want to encourage people? Somebody who's listening to this and thinking, oh, I still can't do this or whatever. What would you want to say, in the interest of time? Because I said to you, me and you, we can talk. We can talk whole day. So, what will you say to my viewers?
I realized, and it pains me. Most of the posts, um, back to the Facebook post that you're talking about, people were commenting to say, "You are so brave," and for me, it was, I don't know how you think this is brave, right? But also because we live in a country that has, we need to be safe all the time.
Yes.
It's very unfortunate, but also I hate living in regret. I would have hated looking back when I'm 80 and I can't move and say, could have done it. Take a
Mm.
chance, do it. Set yourself free off of your fears. Most of our fears are quite imaginary when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Our fears are very imaginary.
It is false
So
evidence
set
appearing
yourself
real.
free.
It's in your mind. Create your mind creating
Yeah,
this that are not there.
yeah. Set
Yeah.
yourself free, and the reason why I agreed to this, like you said, it was to inspire. Um, and on a post, I was actually saying, because I opened up something about, I then wanted to move to Ethiopia, and so in my mind, as I'm writing that, I'm thinking, I hope somebody comes back to post and say, I then continue to Ethiopia,
And I
and then
didn't.
somebody says, because it is so beautiful when somebody opens a door for you and says, come, it's doable. It's
Let's do.
quite doable.
Yes.
And I told you that I think one day I will try it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I still say you're brave. And I know you say, why do we see this bravery? It is bravery. Trust me, for a whole lot of us, that is bravery. But thank you so much for agreeing to come and have a conversation.
Thank you so much. I've said to Effie, and I'm sorry to cut you, that was rude of me. Start small.
Yes.
Start in Botswana. Do a solo in Botswana. Botswana is fairly safe. Start in Lesotho.
Mm.
Start
Mm.
small. Start where there's languages that you can speak and it's gonna make you
Yes.
feel comfortable. Language is a
Yes.
huge factor because when you know what is being said, you understand. And so when you don't know what is being said, you don't know whether now I'm in danger or what.
Or
So start
not.
start in countries where you can communicate. Start
Mm-hmm.
small, it's gonna grow. It's
It's
just
gonna
once
grow.
you start with traveling, then
Once the bug bites you, you gone, you gone. Viewers at home, thank you so much. I want to believe that the conversation has inspired you just to think of traveling. And I know Ustu is saying start small with Botswana, start small in your province, wherever province you are. If you've never done any traveling within your province, start in your province, move to the next province, and then move outside of the borders of the country, so that you can just experience the beauty of Africa, the beauty of how other people live and all that. We just want, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. There's ways that you can make traveling not so expensive, as if it is meant for a select few. Everyone can do it with proper planning, and don't be like Stu. If you are wired to be like Stu, to just wake up and go, yay. If you are like me, you want to do long-term planning, do your long-term planning, whatever works for you, do that, and enjoy. Life is beautiful. Traveling is beautiful. You come back with memories that you hold so dear in your heart that they can never be taken away from you. So yes, as we are still in the early months of the year, think, what is it that I want to do this year? Just do one thing. Do one thing. Even if it means maybe you've never gone out to a botanical gardens in your area, just do that as a start, and the bug will bite you, and you will just enjoy the beauty of traveling. I personally am looking forward to more of your travel, sharing of your experiences, and let's just create a world of travelers, a world of people that are exploring and are adventurous. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. Click the subscribe button, click the notification button, so that then you're able to get notifications whenever we post conversations. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Looking forward to seeing you next time. You do take care.